When I did my trust several years ago, I thought that the more instructions you put inside your trust, the more powerful it is. I mean, after all, the trust is kind of your final instructions, right? Well, big mistake. When you overstuff or overcomplicate your revocable living trust, it only means one thing: costly revisions. If you have an attorney working on your trust, every time you need a revision, that's like ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Even if you use an online platform where you can go online and make updates as you wish, you still need to go back to the notary with your witnesses for signatures. In this video, I am going to go through 7 items that you should never put inside your trust if you want to avoid costly revisions. First is personal and sentimental items. My Yamaha grand piano was one of my most precious belongings, and I almost put the heir to my piano inside my trust. I'm glad I didn't, because a few years later, when I downsized from my 4-bedroom to a condo, I passed the grand piano on to a 10-year-old little girl who was starting the journey. Personal and sentimental items do not belong inside a trust. What if you change your mind? What if you sell the item? What if you lost the item? What you should do is to list personal and sentimental items in a separate document as a separate attachment. That attachment is called Personal Property Memorandum. One important point: make sure that in your living trust, you mention that such a document exists. It can be as simple as, I have a personal property memorandum. And if you ever need to make changes, you can update this document. Maybe it's just a Word document on your computer or a Google Doc. You can just update the document separate from the trust. Re-sign the document, reattach the document to the trust. Simple as that. Number 2, cash gifts. I had planned cash gifts for 2 buddies of mine, okay? Well, it turned out one of them got a huge inheritance from her parents, and the other one married a widowed surgeon. Cash gifts instructions inside a trust gets outdated very quickly. People's financial situations change. Our financial situations change. What if we can no longer afford that cash gift? Or what if many years have gone by and the cash gift number we wrote in the trust has become very paltry and meaningless? Don't put cash gift instructions inside the trust. What I did instead was to name beneficiaries in my bank account, in my non-retirement investment account. So for example, in my Fidelity non-retirement investment account, I said such and such amount will go to, and I named the pastor. Anytime I need to change anything, it's as simple as going online to the beneficiary section of my investment account. I can change the cash amount figure. I can replace, remove the beneficiary. Simple as that. No need to go back to an attorney to revise your trust. Third, your assets. Now, don't get confused. You do want to transfer the titles of your assets into the trust. But that doesn't mean you should list all the details of your assets, the account numbers, the balance amount inside your trust. Keep it separate, a separate list of documents to help you organize, but you don't want to actually specify the details of those assets inside your trust because assets come and go. 4, conditional or time-sensitive requirements. Do you have special conditions like my son Sam will get his inheritance only after his college degree? You know, it seems wise, it seems like an incentive when you put it in the trust, but in reality, it can cause resentment, and your child could get, go through a meaningless degree, just go through the motion, just to get to his inheritance, so it could backfire. Or what if several years pass and Sam is now 45 years old, you're still alive, are you going to still cling on to this hope that Sam will get his college degree if he didn't? Or are you going to revise your trust and switch it to, okay, if Sam gets married or if Sam buys his first home, just ditch it altogether? Which leads to number 5, overly complicated trusts. Do you know families with complicated distribution schedules, different for different children, multiple age tiers? Complicated trusts are just going to need more frequent revisions. Not to mention, it could cause resentment and family disputes. Number 6, make sure you've talked and discussed the role to anyone that you're thinking of appointing as your guardian, trustee, or executor. I had a family member who came to me after her trust was finalized and signed to tell me that I've been chosen to be trustee of her trust. She thought that I'd be really honored. She didn't realize that I was actually planning to relocate to the West Coast. Do not put any names inside your living trust for these key roles without first discussing with these people. Last but not least, number 7, do not put funeral or burial arrangement instructions inside your living trust, for the simple reason that a trust is usually read after the funeral. Oops, she didn't want to be cremated. Too late. If these instructions aren't part of your living will, healthcare proxy package, you could write a cover letter giving all the specifications of your preferences. It's also best if you actually share these preferences, these desires for your funeral or burial arrangements with your family or loved ones, so everyone is on the same page. So there you go, 7 instructions that you don't want to put inside your living trust. For a lot of families, the most effective way to avoid probate is to use a revocable living trust. If for some reason you do not want to do a living trust, I have made a video on 7 other ways you can avoid probate without a living trust. I will put a link to that after this video and also in the description below. All right, I'll catch you later.